All right. Back to the gym. Back to the gym. Gonna keep it pretty short today. I've like convinced myself that I have to be back by noon. And it's worked out in my favor. 'Cause a lot of times I say, "Oh, I got to be back by noon," but in my head I know that I could probably push it to like 12:20. Um, and so I will. But for whatever reason, like this time, I'm just convinced that like, oh shit, I have an hour and a half left. It's like 10:10 right now, so I'm like convinced, like, oh man, I gotta be back home in an hour and a half. Crap, I'm running out of time, and that's good. That's a good thing because I want to be home by 12. So I need to get in and get out, but that's okay. Uh, we're gonna it'll be all good no matter what happens here. It's um, I just completely lost my train of thought. Um, Regardless, we're gonna make it happen, dude. We're gonna make today happen. I'm going to this gym that's close to my house, just because I got to be back home kind of soon. Also, it's just kind of nothing crazy squat day. So we're gonna make it work at this EOS here. EOS is the one that's close to my house, by the way. So we're going there just to do some squats. So I'll probably be able to record one at least. Well, I'll be able to record one, probably both sets. I don't know if I'll be able to do the wide shot like this, with the camera angle and like landscape orientation, as opposed to like portrait. Upright versus sideways. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about. So just because the way I record, unless I record from behind, I really just don't like recording squats from behind. I think the angle is just weird. It's just an awkward looking angle. Like you just see my ass, like it's just the back of me. I don't think it looks as good. From the perspective of like, I don't know, the viewer, right? Like you guys, I would much rather see somebody post a video of themselves squatting from the front than from the back. I don't really want to look at like the backside. I think it's much easier to gauge depth from the front as well, and the side. But the back is very hard because it's just hard to see where the hips line up with the knee. And so I think it's just I don't like to record from the back, squats from the back. Anytime I've ever recorded a video of me squatting from the back, it just looks like shit. It's not very good. It's one of the reasons that when I worked at the YMCA, that I would always squat on those like big power racks with like the deadlifting platform on the front, or the Olympic platform, whatever you want to call it. I would squat there. They had squat racks that I could use, just freestanding like standalone squat racks, but I never used them because they were all facing a wall, kind of like the ones here at EOS. They were all facing a wall, so I could never get a shot from the front, and I didn't like recording from behind. So it's part of the reason why I switched to those squat racks, was because of the recording. Also, I started using those squat racks just because I don't trust the safety arms on a lot of squat racks. But the safety arms that were on those big racks that I would squat in were like heavy duty safety racks. So I never felt bad about bailing if I needed to drop 405 for whatever reason. I never really felt iffy about it. Whereas if I was just using like a standard squat rack, I never really trusted the safety arms on those things. I still don't. I don't know why. I've never had to bail on a squat. Knock on wood, never had to bail on a squat. Anytime I've failed a squat, I've had spotters. I don't want to bail on a squat. I think it's silly. I think it's really unnecessary. And unless you absolutely have to, I really just would not recommend doing it. Get some spotters, get some side spots, and just trust them. You know, Find a couple of big dudes in the gym that look like they know what they're doing, and ask each one of them. One of them stands on the right side, one stands on the left side, and just have them side spot you. That's what I like to do when I'm doing squat attempts for like PRs and stuff. And so, but in the absence of that, I wanted to squat on the big rack at the Y because the safety arms looked like they could handle me dropping 400 pounds on them. So, anyways, all that to, I don't know how I got on that, but oh, the recording, right? Recording from the back. So I don't like recording from the back, so I can't shoot a video like this angle, this orientation. I could, I just wouldn't really want to. So that's why I was kind of filming from the front, like kind of catty corner to the squat rack, so that you could see me and see the front of the lift. But that kind of requires that I record in the portrait orientation or the upright orientation and not this sideways orientation. And I don't know how that looks. I don't think it looks very good when the rest of the video is like this, and then there's just like one little cutout, you know, 1 5-minute clip of the lifts where it's in a different orientation and like the rest of the screen is just black on each side. You know, you have like that one little sliver in the middle of the video, and then there's like 2 solid inches on either side of that sliver that are just black screen, because I recorded it in a different orientation and the aspect ratio doesn't match, so it just looks like shit. And since I'm doing this on a phone and not some high-speed digital camera, that's what I would be working with. You know, I don't get to pick and choose like that. It doesn't work like that. So I'm also just not that good at video editing. So there's that too. But regardless, we're going to go ahead and, you know, we're going to do the best that we can with what we have. Light green, light's green. Okay, I can't see around this truck. And, oh, that was yellow. Oh, now it's red. Wow, okay, see. This giant truck in front of me that I cannot see in front of. Buddy is just driving slower than molasses in the summer. Winter, in the winter. But anyways, I am pulling into the gym now, so we're gonna go in here and squat. I think the top set today is 2 sets of 1 at 385, so should be fairly easy, you know, ish. 385, still a decent amount of weight, but 2 singles, nothing crazy. We're not, you know, I'm not looking to set a PR today. We're just trying to keep the gears greased. The real test will be next Tuesday, whenever I have to do 445 for a single. I think I mentioned prior, yesterday maybe, I actually have lifted 445 before. It was not just it was not a guesstimation based off of a lighter lift. I have actually lifted 445. So we're going to have to match that tomorrow. Or not tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. We're going to have to match that next week. So that'll be a good time. But yeah, I'm going to go in here and get warmed up, and then we'll get to squatting. So we'll see you in there. flowers. There they are, flowers. Had to stop at the store to get some stuff for my lunch as well as my wife, and had to grab some flowers as well for my wife and daughter. So, yeah, they're out. So they need new. They needed new ones. Their bouquets that I got them last time, both have died and they need to be replaced. So, anyways, the squats felt pretty good. No complaints, honestly. 385 for 2 singles. I only got the one in there. Didn't record both sets, just the one set. It felt fine. I mean, both sets felt fine. It's always a little dicey. That's kind of like so that's kind of the weight range there that like it could go either way, like it could feel great or it could feel like shit. It's like the weight that is both somehow simultaneously heavy enough and light enough to either feel good or bad. So it's usually somewhere in there, like probably 385 to like 405 is that weight range. And then everything else, I mean, that's on any given day, right? Like it's not 420 moved very well a couple weeks ago. 425 moved decently as well. But that range, I'm kind of expecting it to be tough and feel bad because it's heavy for me. So, but 385 to like 405, 410, somewhere in there is like just the right amount of weight to where it could go either way. And today I have no complaints. So we'll always take that win. Always take that win. Anytime weight doesn't feel bad or heavy, I'll take that win every time. Every friggin' time, dude. Try to adjust this a little bit because it's kind of weird. It's like a glare on the screen too. I don't know. It's kind of annoying. Glare from the window over here, I guess. So yeah, no complaints with how weight moved today. It is what it is. We've got tomorrow off. I'm going to be doing interval training as well. Tomorrow I think I'm going to do 1 kilometer repeats. I did those a few weeks ago with my brother. He came over to my house and we did 1K repeats and honestly felt pretty good. Like enjoyed it. Did a lot better than I had expected to do. We ran 5 1K repeats each. So for a total of 5K. And dude, my pace was pretty consistent on all of them. Like I was running, a sub 8-minute mile time on all of my 1K repeats. So can't really complain about that. So I think I'm going to do it again. And I like to try to build up a tolerance for running faster, farther like that, right? Like instead of doing, 30-second sprints or 60-second sprints, I've wanted to kind of build up a tolerance to run, do a half a mile sprint or a quarter mile sprint, or in this instance, a 1K sprint. However, now the 1K repeats, I won't be like running for rest, like it's not going to be a quick jog for a rest. It's going to be, just me kind of pacing and walking it off for a couple minutes. And then we'll do it again. We're going to rest long enough to keep the intensity up, or short enough to keep the intensity up, but long enough to recover. So it's probably going to be right around 3 minutes or so, would be my guess. That's my plan for tomorrow morning. And I'm not super far from home, so if I need to cut it off before then, I can. Plus, lost my train of thought there again. That happened earlier on the way to the gym too, so pretty cool. Anyways, that's the plan for tomorrow. So then Thursday we'll be back at EOS to do my bench day, my secondary bench day. My shoulder, it's like my whole arm now. I don't really know what the issue here is, but it's getting kind of annoying. It started with elbow pain. Like I've always had like an issue within my left shoulder, kind of, for as long, 5, 6, 7 years now, probably. And it's just kind of like something I've dealt with. It's never really affected my lifts, like my bench or my squat. It's never really been a big issue for those. And so, it's never caused me pain. It's never stopped me from, lifting heavier. It's never stopped me from anything really in the gym. It's never been an issue on any exercise I've done. But then all of a sudden recently with this training block, after I had that little flare up of my elbows a few weeks ago, that lasted for a few weeks. The ever since the elbow pain went away, it's kind of translated into like my shoulder and my whole kind of arm in a sense. It's just kind of been uncomfortable, and I'm not sure what the issue there is, because like it was fine today on squats. I didn't really have any issues squatting today. Other than just the general uncomfortableness, I would say pain was at like a 1 or a 2. It wasn't, again, didn't really hinder me. Normally pain is at a 0 for me, right? So the fact that it was even present is a little, I don't want to say off-putting, but it's a something to listen to and pay attention to. So it's just, yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping that I'm going to take some time off in between. Once I'm done with this peak and I wrap up this program, I'm going to take a little bit of time off of the gym, probably a few days. I don't know if I'm going to take a whole week yet, but I'm going to take a few days, I think, and just not go to the gym and kind of let my body recover. And then we'll kind of ease back into things. And I'm going to start, I'll pick it back up again. I'm probably going to end up doing a bodybuilding style split, like a hypertrophy split, off-season style, if you will, off-season style. While I kind of try to slowly cut weight back down in prep for High Rocks in the spring, because I have a feeling, and my beer 5K, which is really the really competitive event that I want to do well at, is the 5K at the brewery. So we'll start kind of cutting weight here towards the end of the year, as we get a little closer into like December and stuff after I'm done with this program. Right now, I'm trying to eat a lot, like as much as possible, but not in like a dirty bulk kind of way. Like I'm just trying to increase my calorie intake so that I can do well on my lifts, and I'm trying to keep it clean. I'm eating a lot of fruit, oatmeal, milk, fruit juice, beef, potatoes. I'm not going and crushing McDonald's and Pizza Hut 7 days a week. Just trying to kind of keep calories high to help aid my body in recovery, building muscle, all that jazz, so that we can feel good about going into the max attempts at the end of this program. So, and it's been going okay so far. So really no complaints. But once this is over, I'm going to cut those calories back down slowly but surely. It's going to be kind of tough. I don't know. I don't know what kind of because it's a little counterintuitive to run a bodybuilding program and be in a deficit, I think, in my opinion, especially if my goal is to build more muscle to hit new maxes again next year. Then why would I waste? I don't know. Maybe it's not counterintuitive. I don't know. I'm gonna try to not overthink this that much. I'm gonna try to just hey, we're gonna keep training intensely. We're gonna keep lifting heavy weight, and we're gonna continue to fuel our body for the properly for those goals, and just kind of keep doing what I'm doing, man, because it's been working. I'm gonna try not to overthink this too much. Being in the gym is better than not being in the gym, and I don't want to overthink and talk myself out of something simply because I'm overthinking it. So that's probably what I'll end up doing, is just kind of what I've always done, which is just lift heavy weight, train intensely, and fuel my body appropriately. Keep kind of doing what I'm doing. But so that's kind of the plan going forward, I guess. Oh, my son's standing in the driveway. So I'm probably gonna end this video now. I gotta go get ready for a meeting. But talk to you guys tomorrow. Until then, be safe, be good, go to the gym.